You've just entered the no delusion zone. I'm David Debato. Today, this podcast is about the constitutional crisis that we are definitely in the oligarchy of America. Now, I know that many of the naysayers, many of the delusional, and many people who are denying reality are saying that we are not in a constitutional crisis. We've got some problems, but you're making it out to be worse than it is. Bullshit. It's actually worse than I'm making it out to be. We are right in the middle of a constitutional crisis. It's bad, folks, and anybody that doesn't think it's bad in the oligarchy of America has their heads shoved firmly up their ass, because we're in a disaster here. We pretty much have lost our democracy. In fact, that's what a lot of American constitutional scholars are saying, that over the weekend, because of what happened, of which a little bit of which I'm going to talk about here today, our democracy officially ended. And what do they mean by that? What do I mean by that? Well, a couple of things. By many constitutional scholars' definition, a constitutional crisis is one in which a president or the leaders of a government intentionally, forcefully disregard or disobey the Constitution, not just doing something that is unconstitutional or illegal, but openly defying the Constitution and challenging someone, the courts, law enforcement, the people, to stop them, to do something. That's where we're at right now. The Trump administration is challenging the courts, challenging law enforcement, challenging the American people to do something about it, to do something about their unconstitutional actions and about their open defiance of the court. So let me begin. I have some couple of different articles here. The first reporting is from The Guardian out of the UK. It's the US edition. And I quote, "The showdown between the administration and the judge reached a crescendo over the weekend after the U.S. president secretly invoked the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to deport, without normal due process, Venezuelans over age 14, who the government says belong to the Tren de Aragua gang. First, let me just say, look, I'm not against deporting vicious, violent gang members. Not at all. They shouldn't be here in the first place. What I am against is doing something that is in blatant violation of the Constitution, because as the old saying goes, when somebody wants to violate the Constitution, defy the Constitution, they pick the most undesirable individuals so no one complains about it, and they say good riddance, just like these alleged gang members. I will continue. The underlying basis for Trump to invoke the statute is unclear, because it historically requires the president to identify a state adversary. And who is this person? Boasberg on Saturday. He is a judge, federal judge. Boasberg on Saturday issued a temporary restraining order blocking deportations of 5 Venezuelans who had filed suit against the government. At an emergency hearing on Saturday evening, Judge Boasberg extended his injunction to block the deportation of all Venezuelan migrants using the Alien Enemies Act authority, and told the Trump administration, that any deportation flights already in the air needed to be recalled. By the time of the hearing, 2 flights had already taken off, and a 3rd flight left after Boasberg issued his ruling. All 3 flights landed in El Salvador, where the deportees were taken to a special maximum security prison after Boasberg issued his written order. The Trump administration claimed at a hearing on Monday that it believed it had complied with the written order issued by Boasberg, which did not include his verbal instructions for any flights already departed to return to the U.S. Quotes from Trump's attorneys. Oral statements are not injunctions, and the written orders always supersede whatever may have been stated in the record. Abhishek Kambli, the Deputy Assistant Attorney General for the Justice Department Civil Division, argued for the administration. The judge appeared unimpressed by the contention. You felt that you could disregard it because it wasn't in the written order? That's your first argument? And the only other quote or reporting I'm going to read right now, because I want to make this short and it's pretty cut and dry. This is a statement, a rebuke, a reply from Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, John Roberts, regarding this incident. And I quote, this is also from The Guardian. John Roberts, the Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court, delivered a rare rebuke on Tuesday of Donald Trump after the U.S. president demanded the impeachment of a federal judge who had issued an adverse ruling against the administration blocking the deportation of hundreds of alleged Venezuelan gang members. To quote Judge Roberts, for more than 2 centuries, it has been established that impeachment is not an appropriate response to disagreement concerning a judicial decision, Roberts said in a statement. The normal appellate process exists for that purpose. I'm not going to go on. The last thing I'm going to read from here, and this is a quote from insane nutcase wingnut Trump. Quote, Donald Trump. This judge, like many of the crooked judges I am forced to appear before, should be impeached, all in caps. Trump wrote about Boaz Berg, labeling him a radical left lunatic of a judge and a troublemaker. Look, this man is an asshole. He's a piece of shit. We all know that. So, look, and again, I'm not saying that these Venezuelans or whoever they were that were deported are not vicious gang members. They may be. They may not be. We don't know because there was never a hearing to establish their identities. We don't even know their names. They could have been managers of some Latino bodegas in New York and Los Angeles for all we know. And he just picked them up. We don't know because there was no hearing. We don't know who they are. We do know that it's in violation of the U.S. Constitution, which is the law of the land in this country. Still, sort of. We'll see. And openly defying a judge's order, a federal judge, openly defying him and saying, come on, stop me. Do something about it. That is a constitutional crisis, folks. And that's why some, maybe many constitutional scholars in this country have said that this weekend, when this happened on Saturday, democracy officially died in the United States. And I'm going to end it there for today. As always, please, I ask for your support. The voice of the opposition is here, and it's on some other channels, but not many. So we need your help. I need your help. Hit the subscribe button. Tell others to watch the No Delusion Zone and have them hit the subscribe button. Go to buymeacoffee.com, No Delusion Zone page. Buy me a coffee. Also, I've picked out a bunch of different merchandise that I think you should look at. One in particular, if you feel like I do, that Trump is a piece of shit, what more appropriate gift for someone in your family or yourself than Trump toilet paper? Yeah, so if you think he's as big a piece of shit as I am, I think some Trump toilet paper would be appropriate, or a nice coffee mug saying pretty much the same thing. So take a look at the merchandise that's just to the right, I believe, and maybe to the bottom of this podcast. Until then, you all take care, stay safe, and stay sane.